Hi, I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot. Welcome to another 10 Talk Tuesday. Hi, and welcome back. Today I want to share something with you that's quite personal, and I'm hoping that it will make you think. I'm not going to try and change your mind about anything, and I know that what I'm going to say is going to be a little bit controversial, but I do want you to think about what I say, and if you do want to comment, you can, but I don't know if you're going to want to comment on this. So bear with me. I'm going to tell you a very, very personal story. And this happened to me 2 years ago. My mom passed away, and it was very, very sudden. It happened literally within 2 days. She was elderly. She was 71 years old. It's not old, but she was elderly. She wasn't the healthiest of people. She had problems with her legs and that sort of thing. But she was a lovely lady, and she was a very Christian lady. She was a member of the Salvation Army, and she had such incredibly strong, deeply rooted Christian ideologies and beliefs. Not in a I'm going to hit you over the head with the Bible kind of beliefs, but just within herself. She was an incredibly spiritual Christian woman. You couldn't shake her in her faith. She never ran around saying, oh, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, or you've got to do this, otherwise you'll go to hell or whatever. My mother was a very private person when it came to her faith. And it was just it was something between her and God, if you will. She always said that. She was great fun, awesome lady, could throw F-bombs around if she needed to, just a lot of fun. She was a great lady, and I think she put up with a lot of pain near the end. And she put on a brave face, and we would take her out every Saturday. My fiance and I would take her for a little breakfast or whatever. And as I say, 2 years ago, she passed on. And I had never ever had such a close family member die before. And I was shocked. I was devastated, obviously. My mom and I were like that. And it really hit me hard, but I'm the kind of person that I deal with that sort of thing. I deal with that better than what I deal with little tiny incidents in my life. So I got stuck in, phoned the people that were dealing with her funeral policy, blah, 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 got all of that sorted. And then kind of after those 2 weeks of organizing cremations and this and that, then I could kind of came down to earth, and I realized like it kind of hit me. So anyway, I had the whole mourning process, and I grieved. And because my mom and I were very, very open about death, and we spoke about it a lot, I wasn't as grief-stricken as what a lot of people would be. And I know that sounds callous, but it's actually not. And I know my mom would be pleased at the way I didn't grieve for months and months and months. I was sad, and I was deeply hurt, and I was deeply saddened, and I still miss her terribly. But there wasn't that whole sort of tearing out my hair and kind of that kind of grief. And I think it's because my mom and I spoke a lot about not so much her death, but death in general. She had everything planned. As she got older, she started planning. She said, okay, my will is in this place, and my bank cards are in that place, and these are the documents you might need, and this is where my policy is. And she started putting everything into little envelopes. I don't think she knew. None of us know when we're going to die. She didn't know when she was going to die. But I do believe that as she got older, she kind of started preparing for that in I think both a spiritual way as well as a physical way. She started clearing out a lot of junk, and she started giving little photos out to us and to us kids. And as I say, she arranged all her documentation, and it sat there for 2 years. And then of course she passed on, she died. I'm not very comfortable with saying she passed over and, you know, she died, the person died. I say that because death has come to claim the soul. Now, be this as it may, and I'm sorry I have rambled for half the video, but I honestly thought that I would, after my mom's death, that I would have some sign, something to let me know, and I know this sounds really strange, but something to let me know that she was okay wherever she'd gone. And there was nothing. Absolutely nothing. To this day, 2 years later, there has been nothing. No sort of breeze through the house, no smell of her perfume, no writing on the wall, no moving furniture. My mother used to always tease me and say that when she died, she's going to come and tickle my feet. Because when I was a baby, that was one of the things she used to do to kind of like make me smile and laugh. She'd come and tickle my feet. So she used to always say that when she's dead and gone, she's going to come back as a ghost and tickle my feet. I've had nothing like that. And, you know, when I realized that I wasn't going to get anything like that, I was not going to get that sign or that confirmation of her being okay, it really sort of struck home, and it made me start thinking about the other side and what happens after death. And it really got me thinking about reincarnation, and I believe in reincarnation, I really do. It's like one of the main tenets of my belief system, my spiritual belief system. And I got thinking, like, at first I was kind of like quite hurt by the fact that there was no sign, you know. And those of you who are not terribly spiritual, if there are any of you watching this, you'd say to me, well, yeah, Matt, you know, your mom's dead, it's gone. It's like, she's gone, man. And I'd never believed that. I had always believed that I would get a sign. You know, you see it in the movies all the time, man. And I'm like the big movie buff. Anyway, what I came to believe, what I came to think, and I came to accept, and this is just me. I don't know if I've done this to make myself feel better or to make myself kind of change my headspace. But what I said to myself is, my mother had no leftover business here on earth. She had nothing. She had planned everything, and she had lived her life. Wow, my mother lived a life, a hell of a life. That's a book that I will one day write. But she had no unfinished business here. So why would her soul or her spirit or her ghost stay around, hang around? I honestly believe that my mom didn't need to give me a sign. I know that wherever she is, she's happy. Whatever has happened to her, be it her soul, her spirit, whatever you may call it, it has moved on. It no longer needs to be here because she doesn't have to comfort me. I know that we've spoken about all of this, and that alone gives me comfort. The other thing that I firmly believe is that her soul has moved into a new phase of living. I believe that she has moved on and she has reincarnated, and her soul has a new life and a new plan and a new path and a new trajectory. I don't know what to say there. But I don't believe that her soul is kind of hanging in limbo. I believe that she has moved on and she has reincarnated, and her soul is now on a completely new and different path. Today's been an absolute ramble, but I do hope that it will make you think a little bit, and whatever you think, you know, take what you can out of today's video. And yeah, if you would like to comment, you can. But if you don't want to comment and you just want to think of this and keep these thoughts that you're not going to have to yourself, quietly thinking about them, that's okay as well. I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot, and I will see you next week for some more 10 Talk Tuesday.